I'll just give you a short introduction about this project, and guys from DATEV will tell the story, how it did go. So we at CROZ, we started to work with DATEV in 2020. It was interesting times, you know. So it was a remote work for everybody, and we all needed to work together, build something new. So there was a lot of challenges building something new with a lot of unknowns. So there were a lot of unknowns. We started to do a lot of new things. So DATEV is one of our largest, if not, I think it is largest IT company that we at CROZ work with. So we are very glad that we work with DATEV on this interesting projects, big projects, very important to DATEV. So we implemented their IBM API Connect API management solution in their new cloud. And I'll give it just to Andreas, how it did happen for DATEV.
Okay, thank you. Let's start. Just a short introduction of our persons. I'm Andreas, and as you see, who is a photographer in this room? Nobody? Nobody? Okay, I can tell you that's a Leica.
Yeah, I'm Markus. I'm not doing much of photography. I'm maybe the techie part here, and I'm trying to be not that much be in the depth of the technique that's later. So, yeah.
That's some slides which I have to provide, and I really will switch it quite fast. You know, DATEV is one of the hidden champions in Germany. If you do not have DATEV skills, you will get no job at tax consultant in Germany. Nowhere. And that means that all tax consultants are using our software. And we have 8,500 employees. I think the 8,000 just in Nuremberg. So it's 3,000–4,000 developers. Really, really great infrastructure, big infrastructure, and we are on the market since '65. So also an old IT company. Okay, like all companies, upper management taught us, oh, we have a API first, and I can tell you, nobody at the upper management know what that means. Nobody. And we have a destination, API as a product. You hear it yesterday somewhere, data as a product, and we try to introduce that to DATEV. But first, let us look where we started, or where we are right now. This is a Nuremberg castle, and DATEV IT is built like that castle. There are big stone walls around it. There are a lot of rooms, chambers in this castle, and a lot of hidden doors. Nobody knows which hidden doors we have. But that's not the way how to get a modern IT. Beautiful castle they have built around a middle-aged town, and we have a lot of on-premise deployments, Windows deployments on client side. But the good point was that we have everything under control. That's the real world which we are facing right now. We have a big city and a big IT outside. It's really changed during Corona and so on, and going online. And what we see right now is a city which are growing. This city, we cannot host it in this middle-age castle. So we have to move there somewhere. And that was a point, I think it was started at 2019, 18, where they decided to build up a new data center. And that is the point where they built up a cloud-native data center. And one point was really interesting, that they decided to make no tunneling, no VPN tunnel between the old data center and the new data center. And every communication goes over the internet. Okay, and also we have seen in that time more and more projects goes to the public cloud. AI, for example. Payment services, we are hosting payment services in the public cloud. And the point was, how get this all together? One point which we say, okay, we must have a little bit of control how this communication, which data goes from one point to another point. We must have control. And that was the point where we started to introduce API Connect and API management. And a very important point is that we do not involve that only for the B2B customer. That's the point where we started. But we see in this setup, we need it also for our internal customers. We have more than 200 applications, which has a lot of communication. I think more than 10 billion calls in a month. So really big on infrastructure. Okay, another point is we centralized the management plane, but decentralized the gateways. And that's a picture how it looks like right now, but you can say this year we will also involve, we will also introduce gateways on AWS and Azure. So that's one of the important points. We have developer portals for internal and external use. We have 2 catalogs, and one of the major points, if you start with this kind of stuff, you have to introduce your own developer tools. That's one of the major points to get success. If you have no developer tools, no integration in Jenkins pipeline, or other pipelines, then you will get no success with it. Okay, and another point is we make it on a way that all developers have first published their APIs to the DATEV catalog, which is a catalog for the internal users. And we copy those APIs to the platform catalog to really force eat your own dog food. Marcus.
Okay, so as I said, I'm the techie guy and I'm from the infrastructure team. Let me give you just a few skills that we needed in our team, like deploying, routing IBM API Connect in our cloud-native data center with Kubernetes. Just a few facts about our team. We started as 6 classical administrators for IBM Data Power appliances, and so had almost no experience on how to run a API Connect in Kubernetes. So we had experience about 2 years running it in our old castle, and having it there, but in virtual machines. And so we saw that it's a big difference, first learning. Running it in virtual machines is way more different than running it in a Kubernetes environment. So we started and said, what could we do? We knew that we couldn't afford it to take every 6 persons now to get those skills at one time, because we knew that we had the daily business of our data power systems, which still remain with us. So we came with another approach to take 2 persons, split them up from the daily business so that they could do really focused work on getting those skills and then bringing it to the team. We chose 2 persons. It was my person and another colleague. And so we started with the first thing. We gave ourselves a good name, and so we called us the Epic Pioneers. Why the Epic Pioneers? Because we're doing API Connect, and we're doing new epic stuff, so what would be better to call ourselves Epic Pioneers? The task was search for somebody who has already those skills, and so we reached out for CROZ. And the first thing that CROZ does was gave us some basic trainings on, and when we finished this one, where CROZ showed us how to do things, a certain amount of time, we switched seats, and so we were in the driving seat, and we had a co-pilot. That ran very, very well for 5 to 6 months until my colleague with me at the Epic Pioneers chose to switch the team. Bad timing? Yes. Good experience? Yes, but why a good experience? This was the first moment where I realized how good the training of CROZ was, because I had no big issues, new guy who's already here, to tell him what he has to know that we can continue to get those skills. They just gave us the little last steps, and so it was little tiny steps that we missed. So we built up the confidence that we already now have those skills and that we could do it. And so it was like, I think 2 months ago, when we reached our, maybe let's say last milestone, to really get the team into it and get those skills to our whole team. So we made own trainings, and we managed it, that everybody has now the same knowledge about it, and so that we have now those skills to get it done. And so I just have to say thank you to CROZ, and special thanks to Miro, Mladen and Bredovan, because it was good training, and thank you also for your patience. You're welcome. Back to Andreas.
Okay. And I just can tell that one of the first experiences of those guys, they really helped us, and they do not try to just make more hours, more contracts, and so on. And that's really great. Okay. Markus told you how we trained up our team to give it over, and how. But the next step is you have the platform, you have the infrastructure. You must have something which is running, which really work. And then you have C programming, APIs, online. They have to learn a lot of things. It started with API design. Introduce it for all the developers and the product owners together to learn how you do that job. REST material level, OpenID. It's really, really hard to explain that to all the people. And we really get in the position where we have to consult the company and the teams in the company how to solve their problems. And right now, it's a butcher counter. Why? Because all the people have to learn this stuff. And we currently think about how to get away from the counter, because we have right now 3 people who make mostly this stuff, and we have 2 teams in the API management which are mainly focused on tickets. But 1 or 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, 5 people, 6 people, 7 people, 8 people, 9 people, 10 people, 11 people, 12 people, 13 people, 14 people, 15 people, 16 people, 17 people, 18 people, 19 people, 20 people, 21 people, 22 people, 23 people, 24 people, 25 people, 26 people, 27 people, 28 people, 29 people, 30 people, 31 people, 32 people, 33 people, 34 people, 35 people, 36 people, 37 people, 38 people, 39 people, 40 people, 41 people, 42 people, 43 people, 44 people, 45 people, 46 people, 47 people, 48 people, 49 people, 50 people, 51 people, 52 people, 53 people, 54 people, 55 people, 56 people, 57 people, 58 people, 59 people, 60 people, 61 people, 62 people, 63 people, 64 people, 65 people, 66 people, 67 people, 68 people, 69 people, 70 people, 71 people, 72 people, 73 people, 74 people, 75 people, 76 what we are thinking about API Center of Excellence or something like that to spread this information, this knowledge over the company. And it's really a hard task, I can tell you. You get it not for free. And that's really a point we are just learning that. And I'm really 3 years, in 3 or 4 years, I can tell you how we done that. Right now, we try, we give a lot of speech in the company, we make lessons, and so on and so on. We have a really good documentation. Kata is a woman who made that for us, really great. But you know, developers do not read. Yeah. So that's one of the main points. And then I have to say thank you. You can visit us. Register by yourself. Have a look on it. And if you're looking for a job, we're also hiring.